interesting. So what's going to happen is, um, first of all, it's going to make it easier to chat with people.
Okay.
AI is, I mean, just a few months, ChatGPT gained 100 million members.
Right.
It's big numbers.
It is. Absolutely.
So who you target can be targeted through AI.
Right.
You know,
Okay. So
part of my big,
it will help in terms of identifying people to invite, is what you're saying.
yes,
Okay.
yes, that's probably the best statement that can be made.
Okay.
So,
I mean,
um,
and the reason why I was asking about functionality is because for the past 2 years, I do photography. I mean, that's the picture behind me here is one of the photos that I've taken. But
right.
so I do a lot of image editing, and I know I've used software that has uh, basically AI assistance in suggesting different kinds of edits to an image. So, I know it has different applications, which is why I was asking, what the functionality that and the purpose for that would be. So, cool.
Here's part of the interesting aspect of all this.
Oh, okay.
We really
So
don't know
so
where all
Lee
this.
Kaduka is actually the AI assistant. I see
Oh,
in the chat.
oh, okay. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Um, so we don't really know where things will end up.
Right.
But I have a great story that I love to tell about AI. So my brother-in-law, my nephew, um, his his the son, his name's Jake, uh, sends me a message. My brother-in-law is best friends with Mark Spitz, the swimmer.
Okay.
Remember him?
I do remember
I,
him.
I
Yes.
call I call Mark Spitz my brother-in-law, but he's married to my brother-in-law. They're such inseparable friends. And so Jake calls me up and sends me a message through I guess LinkedIn. I'm trying to think the process. And it was or he sent it directly. It was a video uh, of Mark Spitz speaking.
Okay.
Well, it wasn't Mark Spitz. It was my nephew that had put together the post. This is the fear and the potential of where all this goes. They're
Right.
so good at impersonating now people that you can't tell the difference.
Right.
That's a mind blower. And
Yes.
it's very scary of where all this will end up.
It's
So,
a very powerful tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or ill.
right, right.
And human nature being what it is, it will be used for both.
Yeah. So anyway, I mean that's one piece of it, but you know, AI is here. It's not going to go
Hmm.
away unless there's some government regulations that come in and uh, prevent the some of the outrageousness from occurring.
Hmm.
But it's something we're going to live with, and it's going to be
Right.
huge because all the big boys will be playing in that market,
Right.
right?
Right.
So part of our key is learning how to adapt AI into you're basically what you're trying to do, you have to market it, right?
Right.
You want to get in front of XYZ type of people.
Right.
And I think we need to kind of prepare for that.
Right.
Doesn't that make sense?
Right.
So the people that you're connecting to, that you're talking about, have specific vocations, whether they're an ambassador, whether, whatever it is. And we need to be able to search them out through our various means. You want to grow, right?
Yes.
Your objective is to increase the amount.
We want to grow in every aspect. We need to grow in terms of the number of families that we support. We need to grow in terms of the financial support we get. We need to grow in terms of the number of people that we involve as volunteers throughout the
Yep.
organization
Yep.
in a variety of roles. So yes, absolutely, we want to grow, and we want to grow public awareness of what we do. We want to sell the books, copies of the book that we currently have. So there's at least four different. I don't know if you'd call them funnels or the like, but four different purposes, four different specialty things that we want to do. And certainly a person could fall into multiples of those, but, you know, we definitely have four different purposes in the messaging that we send out.
Yeah, what I always talk about, and I think this is one of the reasons that I appreciate you and how you think. We also have to think outside of the box.
Right.
So as the
It's
world
tough.
changes,
It's tough to do that, but it's like I'm more than willing to hear somebody's thoughts and try to consider different approaches and the like. I mean, I think that the whole idea of if there's more traction behind telling these stories for veterans who survived and their families now want to have their father or their grandfather's story told maybe shortly after they passed or they got a terminal disease they want, and maybe we find maybe we do something that's a for-profit side to this. It's owned by the nonprofit. I don't know. I'm just
yeah,
saying
yeah,
these are
yeah.
all different things that are outside of the current structure that we've got. But it's like I think I need to be open to things that make sense, and I will be open to those ideas.
Yeah, this is all very fascinating because we're in a world of change here, and you either adapt or you get eaten, right?
Right.
Okay. So um so where do we go first? I guess are you on any chat? Um or AI, I'm sorry, any AI systems now? Have you registered with any AI?
Who my service is through AT&T. And actually yesterday when everybody across the country was having all these issues, I didn't. I lose connectivity at all, which was bizarre.
Yeah.
And then just now, I just was seeing that I had this little blip, and then I was trying to connect on my through my cell phone, and it was having issues. So I don't know what's going on. It may be an AT&T issue, it may not.
Well, I'm asking my my head of my social media why
Uh,
the company logo for me is coming up as the company. Why is my company logo coming up instead of so he must have made a change in my Zoom.
Right.
I'll put
No, I guess
you-
what I was asking um when I got cut off was whether this AI assist is going to be able to help us do something that we had been talking about, um, and which is to look at people who had responded to previous invitations and be able to reach back out to them.
So we just got Ozzy. Hello, Ozzy.
How you doing, sir?
You're
Good.
doing
How are
great,
you?
Ozzy. How about yourself?
Okay, not bad. Thank you. Thank you. I was online and I was waiting for it to show up on LinkedIn. And I said, wow, this is strange. And I kind of overlooked the link. So I am so sorry.
It's okay. Thank you
I
for
figured,
joining us. It's
figured it out.
been we're just trying to sort out some of the technology and like we're just having this conversation about that. And for myself, I was had uh, I guess a power blip here that knocked me off for a few minutes. And of course, yesterday with the nationwide problems that AT&T and others were having, who knows if this was related or not. But technology is something that we all deal with, and so we're talking about an AI assist that we're uh, uh, that Bob is integrating into this, and so we're just having a conversation about that and what its capabilities are going to be. So Ozzy, just love to get to know you a little bit, and yeah, I know that the invitation probably had some information about me, but I'll be happy to answer any questions you've got about me, and Bob will do the same for him too.
Yeah, Ozzy, tell us about yourself.
Well, I am the founder of the American Veterans Board, is the only all armed forces service board in the country. And I was invited, I believe, by Dennis, sent me an invitation, so I appreciate the invitation. And what really captured me was that that you guys are also doing a book
Yes.
on honoring veterans, and which is great. I'm already in that motion, which we came up with that idea last year and it's fully implemented. And so we are pushing out a book that honors veterans and preserve their legacies. And I wanted to kind of just kind of brainstorm with you. We have our book cover, and we're going to present that book. We do have a video on the book as well
Cool.
on my website, which I would love to share with you as well. And so I found
Absolutely.
that very interesting. I mean, it's a great thing that other folks that you guys get the same idea, which is great.
Right. So yeah, so tell me about what we do is we are honoring those who died while in military service to the nation. And we do that by doing a complete biography on each individual. So I put in the chat some of my contact information, and there should be also a image of our cover for our first book. But the idea is that each family, each person gets their own story. We record every interview that we do with the thought in mind that we want to create a video documentary on each of them, and we'd love to be able to eventually get to the point where we have a documentary series that could be on a streaming channel or one of the networks or something like that. And the reason why is because we're trying to serve two purposes. The first is to collect and preserve for future generations the story, because as I'm sure you know, we carry our own stories with us. Nobody really knows the full story except us. And when we pass, everybody's left with fragments of the story. And so when we are working with these families, we actually are helping those families do a voyage of discovery, because they are finding out things about their loved one that they themselves didn't know. And in these cases thus far, it's been really surprising to some, but it's not like bad, nasty things. There's with Alfonso, he was born in the Philippines. His kids knew that, of course, being Filipino American. He served in the Navy, but before he served in the Navy, he served in the Philippine Army for a while. His children did not know that until we were in the process of researching their father's story. Now, their mother knew that, but for some reason it had never occurred to her that they would be interested in that. So she never talked about it. Our second book, which we're still in the research phase of, is for a sergeant who was killed in a helicopter crash in Vietnam in 1970. And in the process of doing some of the research on this, we've discovered that he had a child from, an extramarital affair, who's alive and living in Florida, and wants to get to know her sisters. So these sorts of things are that will, I don't know if that's going to get in the book or not, but these other the surprise factor for Alfonso's, that wasn't a part of the book, but it is part of the experience. Tell me a little bit about you guys and what you're doing and what your purpose is here. Maybe we can help each other.
Yeah, so there are definitely a lot of parallels in what you're saying. One of our slogans is to honor veterans and preserve their legacies,
Right.
so, which highlights of what you just mentioned. We do have a video that has been shared. It's on our website as well. It's only 2 minutes long. I don't know if you guys would love to see that video.
Yeah.
But we really believe, just as you, that once a veteran passes, that who tells the story, right?
Right.
And as you also alluded to, people get fragments of those stories, and so we want to be able to shed a light, and also have them perpetually and eternally have a light on their names, so that way their great grandkids down the road could probably look them up. Who knows if the internet there would be some other technology, right? That would be in existence, right? That they can look up this person's name, and all of a sudden they find out that their great grandfather, grandmother served in the military, and find out everything about them. So our book is etched in the fabrics through the Library of Congress to make that eternal, right? And so that's also critical. So we've been talking about this AVB. We've been talking about the book for about 2 years already. And last year we went full board with the implementation. And so what we've done is a little bit, it's kind of similar, but we have attached it to our event. So any sponsor, we have a Stars and Stripes sponsorship level. And so we named our book the American Heroes Raise the Flag book series. The concept of that is to, as sponsors our event, it actually kind of raises the flag. Our goal is to have 50 stars and 13 stripes, total of 63. Those 63s, there will be a one-page biography of that particular veteran. And we
Right.
would associate a sponsor with the veteran, put their logo on the book, sponsored. This veteran was sponsored by XYZ company, whatever the case, right? And then of course then promote the book. And it's a win-win-win for everyone. It's a win for the hero. It's a win for the organization. It's just a good thing all around. I'm sorry.
Hey, Ozzy,
Yes.
I'm looking you up on LinkedIn
Yep.
and I see, um, you've got a goatee.
I used to have the thing, but my daughter cut it off of me.
But it's in your LinkedIn profile.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
That's
okay.
me.
So I'm gonna invite you to connect with me right now without a note. Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
thank you. So yeah, we got this video. I would love to show it. It's only 2 minutes long, and I think you guys really, really get it. Let me see. Let me go into
Can
my
you post
I
that
think
into,
I think
can you,
Bob, I think you need to give him permission to do the screen sharing, since this is
Right.
your
oh,
meeting.
true.
right. So let me go ahead and pull up the video first.
Well, you know what? Let me give you another idea. Why don't you post that video into LinkedIn? We're both on LinkedIn. That
Mhm.
way we can also distribute that around as well.
Well, I have, and so there's a timing of our promotions. So I posted it about 2.5 weeks ago, and just yesterday, I just posted another video. I like to let that video get traction on that first,
Sure. Okay.
and then in another 2 weeks, then I would then hit him back with this particular video. But it is on the site. Okay, here it goes right here. Wait up 1 second. Let me get into,
Yeah, accept me while you're doing that.
yes.
Yeah, I see several posts here.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, let me go here. Let me just stop this one here. I'm going to go straight to YouTube.
And you posted the, I guess that's a video.
Yesterday, yes,
You're
we just posted
promoting
one.
the May 18th.
Correct. It's a big
thing.
event. And there's a whole bunch of videos associated with that. We usually bring in 850 to 1,000 veterans. This year, we're
Wow.
going to have it at the Washington Hilton. And we've had it in the past at the MGM, also at the Gaylord. This year, we're going to be at the Hilton. Okay, I am ready on this end to show it to you guys. Screen share.
Okay, let me,
So down at the bottom there next to the chat button, click on that and allow me to share.
Yeah, Bob,
oops.
I think you have to give him permissions to share.
Yeah, I'm gonna, hang on. Darn it.
Oh,
You get it?
let me see if I can share.
That's reviewing Bob Friedenfeld's screen.
Yeah, that's your screen. You're looking at me. That's me right there.
Yeah, it's
I think there's a setting that says allow multiple
yeah,
participants to share.
where's my Zoom? Okay, here's And I'm a technologist and I'm stuck here. Here, hold on. There we go. So I
You gotta-
am,
Yeah, let me see here. Options. Okay, I'm gonna send you a request. Just click on yes on that request.
okay, hold on a sec. There we go.
Yeah,
Where'd you send the request?
it should pop up and say to allow me to share the screen.
Be a host, yeah. Share, chat participants. Uh, I'm looking for this here.
It-
I'm in Zoom. Apps,
Yeah, when you're at the bottom here, you have mute, video participants, then share screen. When you click on that, Bob, it should give you some options to allow participant screen sharing. Unless the assistant,
that's not-
the mycity.com one is the one that's the host. Whoever the host is the one that has to turn that on.
Hey, Mahedi, if you can hear this, if you're showing up as a host, then share it.
Yeah.
Allow participant sharing, please.
Here we go. Here we go. I found it more.
Who wants to be the host?
There you go. I made you the co-host.
You made me the co-host?
Yep,
Okay, let me see here.
does the same effect.
Let me go back in here.
Is that working?
Yes. All right. Hold on one second. Can you see my screen?
Yes, it's starting.
Yes.
We got
There
it.
we go.
Okay. So this is just a 2-minute video promoting our book. And I'm gonna let it play and just be quiet. Okay, I'll be quiet on this end.
This isn't just a book. It's an opportunity to become a part of history, to join a movement that will shape the narrative of our nation's bravest heroes. Welcome to the American Veterans Ball Raising the Flag book series. We seek partners like you to honor our veterans. Your partnership is more significant than just financial support. It gives a voice to those veterans who served and sacrificed for our nation. It makes you a part of their legacy by keeping their story alive. Whether you choose to become a Stars or Stripes sponsor or decide to shine even brighter as a co-branding partner, your contribution will be immortalized forever, alongside the stories of our nation's heroes. Every time this initiative is supported, your dedication to our heroes is reiterated and etched into the fabric of our society. Your business brand becomes a symbol of patriotism and support for those who have given so much. This is achieved by matching your support with the legacy of a veteran hero. While this mission is to preserve history and honor legacies, it also will serve as a beacon for your business. In addition to the book, your brand will be promoted through various forms of media leading to our event. This book series is bigger than any marketing tool and has a return on your investment like no other. It isn't an expense, but an investment that will perpetually yield positive returns. This is your opportunity to show your support and align your brand with a cause that matters. The American Veterans Ball Raising the Flag book series is where your brand meets the bravest. Make your mark, which will be recorded in the chronicles of our nation. Join us in raising the flag for our veteran heroes. Secure your sponsorship support today. And let's make history together that is rooted in passion. Driven by purpose and anchored to the future leaders of America. As a shared patriotic and community investment. Help keep the legacies of our American heroes alive by raising the flag for our fallen and brave veterans with your patriotic partnership. Go to AmericanVeteransBall.org and raise the flag, where passion meets purpose.
And that's my presentation. Thank you for allowing me to share
Oh,
that.
absolutely. Well, I'm glad we I mean, I see that we've been connected, you and I have been connected on LinkedIn for a while. And I know that I had seen something of the Veterans Ball before. I was not aware of the book, but I think there's an opportunity for some potential collaboration here going into the future. Because you said that you're basically doing a one-page bio for each veteran.
Yes. Can you see
Okay.
me, or do I need to give control, or somebody needs to take control? Bob, can you take control, or Dennis, of the screen, so that way you're not seeing my screen?
Yeah, I am in a screwy place on my page. I hit the share and that's not where I want to be now. Huh. This is weird. They made some changes and I'm not keeping up with it. What are you seeing
I
on my
have to
screen?
hit stop share. Hold on one second. Stop share. Okay, there
Okay.
you go.
There
We're
we go.
back. Yep.
All right. So I guess I'm trying to get a sense for the veterans that you're honoring. We're talking about a one-page biography, correct?
That is correct. That's what we're doing.
Okay. And then are these the veterans who have passed, or are these including living veterans?
We are open to allow folks to even honor veterans who are still alive, right? And
Okay.
those
All right. Cool. I mean, that's cool, because I'm thinking to
Yeah.
myself, for example, I have an uncle. Well, I have my father's still living. He just turned 90, and I have an uncle who passed away just after his 99th birthday. Both of them are Navy veterans, and the uncle was in the in World War II. So my thing, and I've been talking to lots of different folks over the time, and so I mean, I see how we could be referrals to each other, in that we could say, hey, here's a way you've got, because I run into folks during my my networking all the time that say, well, I've got an uncle, I've got a father,
Right.
I've got a brother, I've got who served. This would be a good way for me to refer folks to you, where you have people who maybe want something more in depth for that family member. That could be a referral back to us, because this book that we've put out, it's 150 pages, and actually that's the small end of what I want to do. We want every story's got to stand on its own. But the whole idea that we have is that, and it really was generated from a conversation that I had with a Gold Star mother before we got this started, who was her son was in the Navy and was lost in the Gulf of Aden, back now, I guess 12 years ago or so. And I went in just thinking I was going to have a 5-minute conversation. I was in her office for over 2 hours.
Right.
And this had been 10 years since he was lost at sea. And he had a bridge named after him here in Middle Tennessee. But it's like there's nothing out there right now that is helping people know who her son really was. And so that's what we want to do, is we want to go from the very beginning of their life up to the very end. And depending upon how long ago it was, maybe even talk about stuff that's happened afterwards as a
Right.
result of their passing. But basically to get a true full biography on each of these individuals. So anyway, that's kind of how I see that we could be a partner, and from the standpoint that, hey, families that have had their loved one who's passed, that want to have the more in-depth story. Here's what the Price of Freedom Foundation and the Price of Freedom Chronicles is about. That
Sure.
sort of thing. So,
Definitely be open to that.
Yeah. And I'm sure you'd need to, whoever your partners are would need to we'll have to have a conversation about that, and I'd have to get my board involved as well, and talk about how that might work, etc. But I do see, I'd rather see us help each other than to just not. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely. I agree with that, and I think in the short video, I think that you actually witnessed similar parallels, right? And
yes, there are a lot of parallels. I really do agree that there are a lot of parallels there. I mean, and then where I see the differences is the depth of the story.
Correct.
And the fact that we're talking about those that passed while in service, where you're honoring those that passed afterwards, or are still alive. And I think that's a nice difference. There's another nonprofit that I really haven't had the opportunity to work closely together with yet, but we plan to whenever we find the right situation. It's why am I blanking on the name of it right now? But Dear Calvin, or the Dear Calvin Project. And what they do is they basically are focused on those families where the service member who died left behind small children. And what they want to do, or what they are doing, is gathering the buddies that knew them in this time of service, interviewing them, telling what they know about their father who passed away. Every person writes a letter to the child or children and gives a memento, and they put that in a box that they give to them. So we believe that we are in parallel with them. We go further than just the veterans and what they do, but we want to include them when we are working with, when we do wind up working with a family that has small children. In this case, had this first story, the kids were 5, 10, and 12 when he was lost at sea, but that was 25 years ago, 26 years ago. So the kids are now all grown adults.
Yeah.
And finding his shipmates to do the Dear Calvin Project part would be next to impossible to do. So but so that's why I'm saying I want to see us be able to help and collaborate and support one another, especially when we have similar causes.
Absolutely. And I'm all about partnering up and helping out each other. You guys, I commend you for what you guys are doing. I think it's very important. And look, if you really look at things, right, there's over 2 million veterans that have already passed away, right? Probably your organization, my organization, there's no way we're going to publish 2 million books, right?
Right.
So
right.
there's enough veterans to go around for decades that we can bounce back and forth. And there'll be still a whole bunch left after we're gone. But I think it's important that we are recognizing legacies, right? And I think it's important. It's also like a time capsule, right? That we can do this for these veterans and so on and so forth.
Well, absolutely, and it's like for me, I'm thinking about one of the things that got me thinking about this was how big Ancestry.com has become, and there's a reason for that. That people have a curiosity and a desire to know well, why condemn future generations of these kids to have to do the same for their parents or relatives that served and who died while serving? Why not pull that story together now? And people, and there's so much content now for currently serving folks. You and I and everybody, we got our footprints on a gazillion different
Right.
electronic platforms and the like. And yeah, we're everywhere, but it's like, okay, how do you pull all that together? It takes a lot of effort to do so. And that's where having the help of a skilled writer and researcher comes in for us to be able to say, okay, these are the sources we used, and document what those sources are. And here's where, assuming that in the future any of these sites are even accessible anymore, that we can make reference to that. But yes, so you have a preservation of the story, and then telling the story, because Gold Star Families, I know the researchers from UShoes had said in one of their first findings several years ago that I was part of a teleconference of all the Army's casualty assistance officers, was talking about how 6 months to 2 years after the service member died, the family has a sense that no matter what else has happened, no matter all the stuff that's happened in the community, the naming of a building or a street or a bridge or whatever, they have the sense that outside the family and small circle of friends, their loved one's been forgotten. And so by being able to tell that story on an ongoing basis to an audience that's larger than that family can reach, we help to address that issue. So that's why we want to go beyond the book. We want to be able to create a documentary series as well with this. So, and I see that what you guys are doing is that we can help each other in a similar effort to keep these memories alive and
Absolutely. I mean, if someone wants to do something specifically for a veteran, dead or alive, then yeah, I could definitely refer them over to you guys, and because we're doing the short story, you're doing the longer.
Right. Yeah, you guys are doing the short story, and that's important. It needs to be done, but it's also we're doing the in-depth story. So it's like the what I say, it's the news at 5 versus the 2020 in-depth
Right, exactly.
investigation, right?
Right. No, I definitely understand the concept. Again, I think it's good stuff, and continue moving forward with that. We kind of got ahead of this a few years ago, just talking about the concept, and as you already see through the video, it's in full fruition now, right? It's in process. It's going to happen, and then what we do is we associate a sponsor along with the veteran. So who wouldn't want to sponsor a veteran, right?
Well, they should. I'll tell you, I'm having challenges with getting sponsors.
I understand.
We're doing so.
Where are you gentlemen located at? Where are you physically at?
Physically, I live and work just north of Nashville, Tennessee, and Bob is West Coast guy. So
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
we're thinking about trying to take the American Veterans Ball to the West Coast. It's a very highly attended event. I'm looking at possibly San Diego in the future.
San Diego, I think, would be a good location for it. Either that or possibly the Seattle, Tacoma, Washington area, just because you certainly have the big Navy presence in San Diego, and then you've got the Army Air Force presence. Well, there's a big Navy presence up in the Pacific Northwest too, with all those bases. So,
and if you guys want to consider attending the American Veterans Ball, take a look at our website. It's going to be on Saturday, May the 18th of this year. We're celebrating the 18th is actually Armed Forces Service Day.
Yes.
So not only are we celebrating Armed Forces Service Day, we're also celebrating Military Spouse Appreciation Month.
Okay, and that's going to be located, I mean, where is this going to be held?
It's going to be at the Washington Hilton.
DC? Okay.
Yes, in DC.
So Ozzy, don't forget to accept me as a connection. on
I already
LinkedIn.
did, Bob. Yeah, we
Oh,
linked
you
up.
did?
We're already at the hip.
Oh, refresh my screen. It's not showing. There we go. Very
Yeah,
cool.
we're in.
One of the things Dennis knows this. My daughter's got a doctorate in psychology, and she worked for the Veterans Administration dealing with vets. She said it was, and she couldn't take it that long. She only lasted there a couple of years, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
And she says one of the most difficult jobs she's ever had in her entire life because of the amount of suicide that is going on. There's something like 25 veterans commit suicide a day.
Yeah, 22 a day. The average
22?
turns out to 22 a day.
Yeah.
And if you look at our website on our mission, we are an advocate for suicide prevention as well. So we're definitely more in line with that.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know, one
Yeah,
of the things too that we look for ourselves is that, and what we say in our message to those families is that to us it doesn't matter what the cause of death is, and I believe that those families of the military suicides need what we do more so than others, because there's a stigma associated with that. And I think if we can tell the stories of those who did end their lives in a truthful but honoring way, that I think we can help to take the stigma away and open up conversations about suicide and about mental health and about alternatives that folks can maybe have. And so
Yeah, no, it's big problem. I could share with you that we're definitely a suicide prevention organization. I could tell you that 2 months ago, I lost my right-hand man to the American Veterans War. He hung himself 2 months ago. This is
Who
the
is this
man.
now?
It's matter of fact, we're recognizing him at this AVB. This is him right here.
Yeah.
Who was that committed suicide?
My right-hand man here at the American Veterans War.
Oh,
Now,
so sad.
we have an organization that his name is Eddie Pages. Eddie Pages. He was my biggest advocate against suicide. Okay. Not only that, last year at the American Veterans War at the Gaylord, he actually read the veteran suicide poem.
Huh.
Now, this is a guy larger than life, God-fearing man, has a job that pays him $25,000 a month.
Wow.
Retired, never seen in the press, always smiling. And on November the 28th or the 29th, I talked to him 2 days prior to, he decided to hang himself in his garage.
Wow.
Huge loss for his family, huge loss for us, huge loss for the country, because the country is much smaller without him in it. But you're right, and getting back to the topic of veteran suicide, you know, I struggled upon his death. I struggled a whole lot in December and January, and still struggling today with his specific loss, right?
Sure.
Because he is one of ours within our own house that did this, right? and yet we are advocating against it, right?
Right.
So
Right.
we came up with, at the American Veterans Board, we came up with the hashtag 78. And I'm going to give you the significance of 78. 78 is the opposite of 22 that we lose a day. That 22, that number 22 has been significant for over 15 years. 15 years, we've been losing 22 veterans per day.
That's
Now,
just-
it's insane. Now, hear this out. Out of the big veteran service organizations that are funded under the Veterans Administration, right?
Mm-hmm.
Got what's called the Big Six. And I won't name them off because you can figure out who are the Big Six VSOs.
Right.
Okay, I'm a small VSO. All the Big Six VSOs has millions of dollars that funnel through them. Not only that, but they got all paid staff, right?
Yeah.
And collectively, in 15 years, the Big Six altogether have not been able to move the needle by one number. That is a huge problem, right?
That's a big problem.
Yes.
So I have publicly voiced my opinion to say that we appreciate the Veterans Administration and the big VSOs for all the things that they do, because they all do great things. We get it.
Mhm.
But they are funneling the monies in the wrong direction. By that, I mean, instead of concentrating on the 22, which we should honor, we should definitely honor the 22.
Sure.
Well, why not focus and redirect that money towards the ones that are on the line, almost to the point that they're going to become part of the 22, right?
Right.
So I'm
Right.
saying, let's look at the same problem, but why don't we turn the portal different? And when we turn the portal, that's where we develop the hashtag 78, right? The ones who
So-
are
Yep.
living, the ones who are currently struggling. Let's focus on those veterans,
Right.
so that way
Right.
they don't become part of the 22. Make sense?
Yeah,
Yes.
you know what's very interesting, and my daughter would tell me how difficult it was to work at the VA. Part of the problem is how they are very structured.
Mm-hmm.
When you have that kind of structure, it doesn't allow for open discussion and open thinking.
Right.
I don't know if I could get it, but I would love to have my daughter maybe speak to you as well about it. She has never spoken to Dennis, but you know, there's a bigger meaning behind our lives.
Right.
Absolutely.
And Ozzy, can I get your phone number?
Sure. It's 540-288-7100.
Is that a mobile or a landline?
That is mobile. Yep, mobile. And that's the one you keep on hearing people calling me on. My work is trying to reach me. And so I may have to cut off a little earlier.
Oh, that's fine. Well,
than
we're
expected.
we're almost up to the top of the hour here, so
But it's a
appreciate your.
pleasure. Thank
And
you.
then
And I'm
we're-
sorry to I feel as though I hijacked your platform here, but it's
No,
just
not at all. This was very
No, this-
contributory.
Yeah, we're still trying to build a community here, so I'm glad you've joined us. We'd love to get your thoughts about that too. We've had folks come in and drop off, but we'd like to be able to find a way that other veterans will have a reason for wanting to participate here. So, we invite you back. We typically have this every Friday. There's a number of Fridays that I know I'm going to be unavailable myself. Typically, Bob is going to be available, but this is kind of a joint collaborative effort
Yep.
to not just bring this. I don't want this to be simply about what we're doing.
Okay,
like we talked about here, to find out, hey, I think what you're doing is fantastic, and I want to be able to build a community of veterans where we can support one another, and
right.
where we can maybe even we've talked about having a veteran come on and tell their story and
Right.
record it and put it out on social media and the like, because we believe there's value in having those stories told. Even though if you're like me, it's like most of the veterans I know are very reticent about telling their stories. So it's like, okay, well, let's talk about the guys and gals you know that you want to pay tribute to.
Right.
Most of us have a buddy or two that we want to say, let me tell you about this person.
Right.
You know, so those are some ideas that we've got, and we haven't formalized them. But anyway, just some things to think
Well,
about.
look.
And I know that I've got to be going myself here fairly
Yeah.
soon too.
We'll definitely stay connected. It's a pleasure meeting
Yes.
you gentlemen. Again, I commend you for everything that you're doing. Look forward to further dialogue. And there's a reason why I'm on this chat today with you two gentlemen, right?
I agree.
We appreciate
Absolutely.
that.
100%.
Okay. So
Appreciate it.
check out my website, and I hope you guys can make
Well.
it to Washington, D.C. on Saturday, May the 18th.
I will see
Got it.
what I can do. I would definitely love to be able to do that.
Thank you so
All right.
much. Have a blessed day. A
Thank you.
Bobby,
pleasure.
nice to meet you.
All right.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
All right.
Okay.
Bye now.